Hi, welcome back to Beauty for Ashes. This is episode 8, where we will discuss guilt, shame, imposter syndrome, and how that impacts our day-to-day lives. So first off, let's talk about imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is just self-doubt and believing that you're not capable or have the talent that's needed for what you've been doing or what you're experiencing. And I can't say that a lot of people go through this. Maybe they do, maybe they don't, but I know that I've personally gone through this. And to be honest, self-doubt, guilt, shame, I think they all kind of correlate, and we're going to hop into that now. So I've always felt like an imposter in my career because I was able to, thank God, move laterally, get promotions, get pay raises, and I was very young. And the roles that I was being promoted to were roles held by people with way more experience than I had. Of course, they were older than I was, and I just didn't feel like I was qualified for those positions because I'm like, if it took you that long to get there and I'm trying to do it now, you have way more experience than me. Why am I here? And oftentimes I would just feel like, man, I'm just not equipped. I'm just not capable. I'm not talented enough. I need to do more to prove that, I'm deserving of this role. And no one said anything. It wasn't like, oh, this debacle or like people whispering or no. I was treated accordingly. I was respected in my role, and that was it. It was as simple as that. And this brings me back to when God puts you somewhere, He calls you qualified. When He puts you there, He calls you qualified, and that's all that matters. So when we're dealing with this self-doubt, that's usually us feeling like we are not worthy or we don't deserve this, right? And it's usually a self-esteem issue. And in different parts of our lives, we probably see this, reflected, where we feel like we are not good enough. And, we are undeserving, because why can't I have a role which obviously they think that I'm qualified for? Why do I feel like I'm not, although it is proven that I am? Why do I feel this way? Why do I feel like I can't have such a good thing? Or whatever the case might be, whatever the self-talk is, it's usually negative. So we have to kind of silence that noise. But the only way that we really silence that is truly by knowing how God values us. How does God see me? Not the validation of others, but how does He see me? He thought enough of me to put me here because I didn't get here by mistake or surprise. He's placed me here. And it's something when you go from one promotion to another, you're like, okay, maybe that one was is lucky. But when you continue to jump and jump and jump, then you're like, whoa, wait now. Like, I'm not anything special, but we are, and favor isn't fair, is what they say. So, kind of going through that. And oftentimes, again, imposter syndrome is rooted in self-doubt. It's us not having enough faith in ourselves or belief in ourselves that we are capable. And God put those capabilities in us. So if He didn't feel like we weren't capable, we wouldn't be there, okay? This steams into guilt. A lot of times we feel like we aren't capable. We have this self-doubt because we're guilty. Maybe you feel like, oh, I didn't go to college, but the people in this role has went to college. I didn't get the certifications, or I didn't start 10 years ago or 20 years ago. I'm just starting now. And, I'm seeing myself in a place that others don't, or I'm seeing more success than those who've been here longer. And all of those things are deep rooted in fear. But this is us doubting ourselves. This is us feeling guilty and thinking that we owe the world something, and we don't. And also with guilt, and I said we would talk about shame, but with guilt, it's like, oh, I feel so guilty. I feel so guilty about my success, or I feel guilty because maybe I had a checkered past, and now I'm thriving, and I'm forgiven, and I'm redeemed, and I'm in this new space, and maybe I don't feel like I deserve it because I've been this way all my life. I've done this all my life. People know me as this all my life. And sometimes when we're trying to change ourselves, we ourselves keep ourselves in a box. When we are going through some type of 180 development and we're really changing, obviously with God, the things around us start to become abnormal, and we start to become guilty. We're like, oh, well, why did little old me deserve it? Maybe, I've been to maybe I've been to jail, or maybe I've done something so outlandish that I don't think I could be forgiven, and then now I'm living a life of redemption. We can feel like, ugh, I don't deserve it, but we do. Because that's actually the God we serve, is the God of redemption, the God that can make every crooked way straight. He's the only one who can make a rose grow from concrete. And actually, that's where I get the title of my podcast from, Beauty for Ashes, because that's a scripture. And then there's this guilt where we feel as though everything we've done, we want to correct, right? If we've mistreated or, mistreated people, or done something that we just think was grossly wrong, we spend a lot of time trying to fix it or make it up. And sometimes it's going to be a lifetime experience of just trying to be a people pleaser. Not trying to be the one that's hated or disliked because you've known what that felt like for a long period of time. So you feel this guilt of like, I always have to prove that I'm better than who I was, or who you knew me as, or my sin. And it's a level of guilt that just kind of hangs there. And to be honest, I feel it because, like I said, for a long time, I did think that I was like the worst human possible. And I'm like, I need to do everything I can right now to fix that. And to be honest, it's not in my power to do that. I truly just have to stand in my truth. I have to stand in my faith, and I have to stand in the belief that God has redeemed me. And today is a new day for me to be a new me. And I don't have to keep doing things to go dig up, I call it digging up the grave, or trying to do things to make people, to impress upon people that, oh, this is a different Ashley, or whatever the case might be. No, I don't want to wear that guilt, because wearing guilt is like carrying baggage that you never drop off. It's just constantly there, and you notice it in every part of your life, because like I said, I'm dealing with imposter syndrome in my career. I'm dealing with guilt in relationships. I'm dealing with shame at at church, or whatever the case might be, because this is all bottled together. Because it's us not doubting ourselves, being insecure in our abilities, feeling like we owe the world something, or we owe the world our lives, and that's just not the case. And although I'm on this journey of self-awareness, it's like peeling back an onion. It's piece by piece. You get a little nugget here, a little nugget there, and then you go and unpack it and try to find a way to heal from it, and not allow it to affect your day-to-day life, because these are things that do affect our day-to-day lives. If they didn't, we wouldn't even think about them, right? And that's so much of what I've been experiencing. And the only thing that has kept me, I'm not here to, like I said, I'm usually not here to give you advice, but the only thing that has kept me has been God. It's just me laying it at the altar and saying, hey, this is out of my control. I'm trying to fix it. I know the problem. I just don't know how to fix it, right? I just don't know what to do about it. I don't know what to do about this impeding noise that continues to yell in my ear about myself. And at the end of the day, it's about how we view ourselves. It's about esteem. It's about knowing more positive about yourselves than negative. If I spend a lot of my time saying I'm not good enough, I'm disposable, I'm not smart enough, I don't deserve this job, I don't deserve this career, I don't deserve marriage, I don't deserve a home, I don't deserve goodness, no one wants me, I'm unattractive. If I spend my time with negative self-talk, that is what will form. Usually that's when people spiral into depression, because it's so much negative self-talk, and that's when we get into those mental illnesses, and we don't want to be in that place. So if it takes you writing down 10 things that you love about yourself, or that you like about yourself, and repeating those things to build up esteem, we got to do it. If you say, oh, well, I like my hair, I like that I'm outspoken, I like that I'm tentative, whatever the case might be, we need to have this positive self-talk so we can stop living in guilt and imposter syndrome, and knowing that we are deserving. We deserve the best. We can have the best, and despite our biggest sin, we still are deserving. God didn't say, oh, you're a sinner, you deserve dirt. You're a sinner, you deserve nothing in life. You're a sinner, you don't deserve success. No, because that means that no one should be successful. No one should deserve anything, because the ultimate price was paid by someone who did nothing. And look at us now. Because of that grace, we're here. So again, navigating through self-doubt, through guilt, through shame, it does take practice. It's building up our self-esteem, it's building up our confidence, and it's also building up our faith in God to know that I am deserving. My Father in heaven brought me here. My Father in heaven thought so much of me to give me this, or to give me this opportunity. That should be enough. That should be enough. So that's all I have to talk about today. Meet me here again for the next episode. Thank you. Bye.